what's going on, everybody? So check this out. So in the Tekken talk, we kind of got a basic idea of what to expect for the Season 2 character and stage pass. So as you can see, we are going to have 2 returning characters, 1 new challenger, and a stage. So knowing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of give my predictions on what I think we'll get. And then when all the DLC is released, I could go back and look ahead, look at this video and see how correct or wrong I was. So it's going to be interesting, and I think the colors give like a little hint as to what characters we're going to get. So let me go ahead and get started here. I'm going to talk about the Pac-Man stage first of all. So in the summer, we're going to be getting a Pac-Man stage. So that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Pac-Man. Pac-Man's really tight. He's sick. Now, 45th anniversary, as you can see. In the back in the day in Tekken 7, we did briefly have a Pac-Man themed arena stage, but that went away after a certain amount of time. I think we only had it for like 1 summer, and that was it. Now, I think it's safe to assume that with them advertising a full-on stage for the 45th anniversary, I think this stage is going to be here to stay, and I hope that is the case. So whatever this stage looks like, I'm looking forward to it because I'm a big Pac-Man fan. I play the games. I play some Smash Bros. I play Pac-Man in that game casually. Now, like I said, I'm excited. Pac-Man is sick. He's tight. So looking forward to that stage. Now, going on to the returning character for the summer. So as you can see, this is going to be a blue-themed character. If the colors are anything to go by, it's going to be somebody that has like blue in the, like kind of like a blue-themed character. Someone who is defined by the color blue, you know what I'm saying? Now, already I have 2 people in mind. The first one is Lei Wulong, and the second one is Craig Marduk. Now, both characters are classic Tekken characters at this point, you know what I'm saying? Especially Lei Wulong. I think that if I had to pick between the 2, I think Lei has a better chance of returning in the summer. And the reason why is just because he's just a classic Tekken character. Goes way, from way back in the day. And he's Jackie Chan inspired. We got martial law who's inspired by Bruce Lee. We got Lei Wulong who is Jackie Chan inspired. You got to have that. You can't have a Tekken game and not have Lei Wulong in it. You just can't do that. It's weird because a lot of people like Lei. A lot of people are fans of the Lei character, but not many people play him. That's the thing. Like, people like him, but not many people play him because he's complicated. He has so many stances. It's a bit tricky to play effectively. But even with all that, like I said, I think the fact that he's a classic legacy character does give him priority over somebody like Marduk. If you had to pick between the 2, I think Lei would generate more hype and excitement than Marduk. Marduk could come later, but I think for a returning character in the summer, I honestly think it'd be a good time to release Lei. Do it right now, and don't wait any longer than that. I think you should come out right now. It's starting to look like the Tekken 7 Season 2 pass, because I think in that one, it was Anna that came out and Lei at the same time, I'm pretty sure. So already, we're kind of getting a repeat of Tekken 7 if this is what's going to happen. But honestly, I think it's going to be Lei Wulong. Marduk and them, they could come later. I'm not a fan of Marduk. I think I just don't want to fight him this early. Like, I don't want to deal with him right now. But Lei Wulong, like I said, a cool character. I know people that play him and would be excited for him. You can't have a Tekken game and not have Lei. So, returning character for summer, I think it's going to be Lei. Now, let's move on to the autumn returning character in the fall. We look here, we have the color purple. So already I got a couple names in mind. Number 1, starting off with Christie Montero, dude. I'm going to be talking about dude. Christie, I think she has to return in Tekken at some point. And I'm gonna keep asking for Christie until forever, basically. And I made my case onto why I think she is a valid returning character. I made a whole video on that. You could go ahead and check that out if you want it. If you want to go watch that. But basically, to summarize that video, Christie, the team in Tekken 3 wanted to have a female capoeira fighter. They couldn't make it. They couldn't make one, so they designed Eddie. Christie made her debut in Tekken 4, immediately took the spotlight from Eddie and became the face of the capoeira fighting style in Tekken. And then if she were to return, you could have her have a different fighting style. I don't know why I kind of had a brain fart there. I was all like, what am I trying to say? She could have like a different fighting style of capoeira because Eddie plays so different. Anyway, that's kind of what I said, but I went more in detail in the other video. So Christie, I think she should be a returning character. I'm gonna put her as a potential returning character. Next up, we have Kunimitsu. Kunimitsu has purple in her outfit. She's a ninja, cool looking character. When she was released in Tekken 7, many people liked her. She's a fan favorite. And when you think about it, Kunimitsu in Tekken 7 played like a Tekken 8 character already. So it's almost like she was an experiment to see how the Tekken 8 style of fighting would actually play out. You know what I'm saying? So knowing all that, I think it's safe to say that Kunimitsu could be a potential returning character. And I think she might have the most realistic possibility of returning in fall. Along the same lines, I think Julia Chang comes to mind as well. She got purple in her outfit as well, especially if she comes back as JC, when she had her wrestling moves. But, again, we were talking about 3 classic characters. Something that comes to mind is Armor King as well. He kind of had a little bit of purple going on in Tekken 7. So Armor King might be a potential returning character. But the reason why I don't think it's going to be Armor King is he could very well be a character in the summer, to be honest. But what I'm trying to say here, all right, check this out, right? So Tekken 8 has a very underwhelming selection of woman characters. The female roster in Tekken 8 is underwhelming. I'm not talking about in terms of play style or whatever. There's just less women than men in Tekken 8. You know what I'm saying? So in this game, there is a roster of 37 characters. 37 characters. And out of those 37, only 13 of them are girls. Only 13 of them are girls. One of which is Panda, who is a panda. So I think, based off that alone, I think a female character has to be one of the returning characters. And like I said, I think it makes sense for Lei to be released here. Or this might be Armor King in blue, you never know. But I think it makes sense for Lei to be released in the summer, get that out of the way. And then the returning character for the fall, I think it could be either Christie, Julia Chang, or Kunimitsu. I think the purple releasing in the fall would be kind of like a matching aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? So one of those. I hate to say that Christie's chances are low, but I think, they're pretty low. So I think it's either going to be Julia Chang or Kunimitsu, returning character in the fall. Now we go on to Winter, new challenger. Already, here's what I think about the Winter. So Winter is going to be a never-before-seen Tekken character. I think this character has to be Winter themed, because if you look at the entirety of the Tekken roster, especially the stages, so this new character is going to come with the stage. If you look at the stage list for Tekken 8, we do not have any Winter themed stages. There's no snow stage, no ice stage, no nothing in the cold. We got like every season, everything represented except the cold. So what I think is going to happen here is the new challenger is probably going to be somebody from a country, from a region that is cold. I'm thinking of, what's some cold countries out there? I'm thinking about Canada, Europe, some Norway, Finland, Iceland. I don't know, something like that. Whoever this character is, whether it's a man or a woman, I think he or she is going to be from a cold region and come with a winter stage, especially if it releases around November, December. Yeah, you got to do that. It fits with the theme. So whoever this is, I think it is going to be a winter themed character with a snow or ice stage, and we're going to go from that. Now, since it is a new challenger, let me just pull something up real quick. So hold up. That's the character roster. So Taekwondo Girl, as you can see, this was a character who was intended for Tekken Mobile, but the game got shut down, so she never saw the light of day. You know what I'm saying? So she has blue. She kind of fits that blue color from the winter panel in the battle pass. It's possible it could be her. You know, we got concept art of her, but she never came out in the Tekken game, so she is technically a new challenger. So it could be her. She does have Taekwondo fighting style, which Hwarung already has, but there is a different Taekwondo. There's different styles of Taekwondo, so you could easily work around that. So it could be her. Could be her. You know, I'd be a fan of having a female Taekwondo fighter, kind of like Jury. So they could be her. They could rework her design. Another character, female Tekken Force soldier, labeled as a sexy Tekken Force character. So this was a character who was made up and was intended to be in the game if she had won a popularity poll back in the day. So they could easily have this character design and just make it into somebody from a colder part of the world, you know what I'm saying? So honestly, I'd be down for that. Either the Taekwondo girl or this Tekken 4 soldier. Honestly, she looking like Ivy Valentine a little bit. But I would be down for either of them to be the new challenger in the game. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I think that's kind of what my thought process is on the battle pass for season 2. So to summarize it, I think I said returning character for the summer, probably going to be Lei. Returning character for fall, either Julia or Kunimitsu. I hope it's Christie, but I think it's going to be either Julia or Kunimitsu. And then winter, brand new character who is going to be from a winter cold region of the world, along with a winter themed stage. So hopefully it's a snowy stage or like an ice castle palace stage, something like that. So I'm interested to see what happens. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just for fun right now, just for fun, getting my predictions, and then we'll see how this turns out. How right or wrong am I as the characters come out? We'll come back and look at this. Well, yeah. Anyway, these are my thoughts on the season 2 character and battle pass, stage pass. Let me know what y'all think. Who do you want to return? What do you think is new challenger? All that good stuff. But yeah, man, let me know. Let me know what you guys' thought process is. But beyond that, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good day. Stay safe out there. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video.